Oh, that's VTech? Oh, VTech? What's going on? Alrighty, so I got the red VHT paint in the mail. The company ended up sending me a free red can and let me keep the gray. So that's pretty cool. I already painted it. I didn't record it. I was in a time pinch. I was trying to get somewhere. So I just wanted to get it painted. And so I got it done. It came out pretty good. I just need to wait for it to dry completely. It takes a while for this paint to set. You're supposed to actually heat set it, so you put it in like the oven or on your car when the engine heats up, and the heat kind of bakes it into place. But if you don't do that, it takes a long ass time for it to set. So I'm gonna leave it sit for a while, and then once it's done, I'm gonna sand off the OV Tech, the lettering, so that it's all shiny and it looks fresh. Let me show you and go over what I did do and kind of what I did for prepping and blah blah blah, and I'll kind of give you the rundown. Alrighty, so this is how it came out. It looks a little darker red in person, but I went ahead and once it was kind of, not completely runny, but still a little wet, I scraped off the paint that was on the lettering, because if you let that completely dry, going to sand it is really tough. Doesn't like to sand off very well, so I like to scrape off the lettering and then let it completely dry so that I can tape around the lettering and then sand it all down shiny. I put little circles of tape on all of the grommet holes for the bolts that go and hold it down. The rubber grommets go right there, and if it's all painted wrinkle red, the rubber won't really mate to it, so it might leak. So I went and taped all of those, except I missed that one, but I went and tried to rub as much paint off as I could. I taped this so that the yet again the rubber gasket on the bottom of the oil cap can mate to that and not get any leaks, and then taped over the breather hole here. It is cut, remind you, and yeah, so basically what you do is you take the wrinkle red paint and you do a base coat. It's pretty cold outside, so what I did was do a base coat, and then I hit it with a hair dryer that I have, and did a couple more coats. And once I got a good thick coverage on it, I put the hair dryer on the ground and blew it into here, and then it has the holes where the cams go through, the cam caps, and it literally blew out the other side, so it heated the whole valve cover. And that's kind of what you want, because the wrinkle paint starts to wrinkle with heat. You don't have to do it that way. You can just leave it, but it's so cold that it would take hours to start wrinkling, and this kind of sped up the process of drying and kept it warm, because it's so cold that if it's below a certain, like 70 degrees out, you don't want to paint, and it's not really going to stick well or nothing. So it's going to look real nice with this sitting right there and the silver cap on. Now, I could probably put the cap on now since it's not really painted right there. So I'm just gonna let this sit like overnight, and then I'm going to sand off the lettering. Okay, so I just wanted to go over this really quick. This is the ECU that I chipped. This is my P28 that was chipped by a friend of mine that for sure works. It's the one that I ran on my GSR. And this is a P28 that I got from Pick and Pull out of EG, with a Z6 in it, a manual. So I noticed that this one, so right here is for VTech on the P28, and then like this one up here is for VTech, and a couple underneath here. Like when you order a chip kit to convert a non-VTech ECU to a VTech ECU, it comes with this and that, because the non-VTech ECUs don't have those. And if you look over here at my P28 that worked with my GSR, it has this, has that. This one is tried and true. It's the one that we use at all the cars, and it works. If you look at the P28 that I got given to me, it does not have that, and it doesn't have this, and it doesn't have the ones underneath the bar here. And also the sticker is missing that's connected to the board that would say P28 right here. If you look on the one I got from Pick and Pull, it says P28 right there. And this one is a different manufacturer. Honda has a couple different manufacturers. This Denshiken. This one's an IPT board, but they're both Z6 P28 ECUs. They're both the AO2. They're both, you know, 11FO 1500, 11FO 1500. This one is also a Denshiken, but it is a 1720, not an 11FO. It's missing those. Another thing, this one that I got pre-chipped, it didn't have C51 soldered, and it did not have C52 soldered. And also there's nothing in R52. If you look at this one, you know, I haven't chipped it yet. There's nothing in R52, nothing in these two because you add these. I'm going to chip this one. But if you look at this one here, it has a diode in R52, and it had me solder in C51 and C52 in the chip kit that I bought. I just cut them out. I'm going to try this ECU with those now cut out to see if that changes anything. But I believe that somebody put a non-VTEC motherboard in a P28 casing. This was given to a buddy of mine from another person, so I'm thinking that other person swapped it out and gave it to him. He never tried this ECU. So yeah, this I don't think is a P28 ECU. I think someone swapped the casing on it because it doesn't have VTEC hooked up. This is very similar to Ryan's non-VTEC motherboard. You know, it could be for an LS or it could be for a like a D15B7, which I'm guessing it is. So yeah, just going over that really quick. I cut those two out because the one that I've been running for a long time doesn't have those, and so I'm cutting those out. This is my good one. I'm just going to use this, and then I'm ordering a chip kit for this one so I can chip it, and I know for sure it is a legit P28 because I got it out of Pick and Pull already. Yeah, so I got the valve cover finished. I went over and smoothed out the lettering here. I think it came out pretty good. It's gonna look decent on top. I just gotta go figure out what I'm gonna do with my head and whatnot. But the cut looks clean, everything looks good enough for me. I just taped off the surrounding area and then sanded it down and hit it with a wire brush on my drill. It is got a little bit of dirty spots in a couple areas right there that I need to clean up, but the paint takes forever to cure, and I don't want to go scrubbing at it if it's not completely done, so I'm gonna leave it for like a week, whatever. It's not gonna be done for a while. I think technically it's supposed to be heated, but we got the VTEC